Hi there and welcome back to Mommy Hates Cooking. Today I'm going to show you how to make air fryer sesame chicken. It can be made in an air fryer or a Ninja Foodi multi-cooker, either one. Now this is able to be made gluten-free as well. It's completely up to you and just requires a couple swaps of ingredients. So you are going to need to do this in two parts. You're going to first do the chicken. So you're going to need 6 boneless, skinless chicken thighs and half a cup of cornstarch. Then I use olive oil spray, but you can use grapeseed spray as well if you prefer something with a higher smoke point. That's completely up to you. You're also going to need these ingredients for the sauce. 1/4 cup of gluten-free or regular soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of orange juice, 5 teaspoons of hoisin sauce. That can be regular or gluten-free. And then you're also going to need half a teaspoon of ground ginger. You'll also need 1 clove of crushed garlic, a tablespoon of cold water, a tablespoon of cornstarch, and then 2 teaspoons of sesame seeds. Now you can serve this with cooked rice and green onions or green beans, or you can also serve it with broccoli, whatever you prefer. So let's get started with this recipe. The first thing you need to do is cut the chicken into chunks and then just coat it with cornstarch in a bowl. You can do this pretty easily, and you want to add enough to fully coat the chicken. Once that's done, go ahead and get the basket of your air fryer, and you're going to add the chicken to the basket, and we're just going to cook the chicken. I typically do it at 390 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 to 20 minutes. You want the internal temperature to reach at least 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, if you're using a Ninja Foodi, you will use the air crisp function, and then if not, you'll just be using a traditional air fryer. You also need to check it closely because all air fryers heat differently. So for ours, it takes closer to 20 minutes, sometimes a little longer to get this cooked. However, for others, it can take 15 minutes. So you really need to watch it closely. Remember to mix it up about halfway through the cooking time, and then you can add some more cooking spray too if it looks a little floury to you. The cooking spray is what's going to get it that crispy texture on the outside. So you'll want to keep that handy as well. Once you're done with that, we're going to move on to the sauce. Now the sauce can be done in a skillet on the stove if you are using a traditional air fryer. If you're using the Ninja Foodi, you can go ahead and turn it to saute on the functions and just use the pot of the Ninja Foodi. Now I'm going in and I'm adding all of the ingredients now for the sauce. So that's going to include the soy sauce, the brown sugar, the orange juice, hoisin sauce, ground ginger, and the crushed garlic. And I'm just going to whisk this up well and bring it to a low boil. So you just want to get it where it's nicely boiling together. Once it gets to that low boil, go ahead and add in the cold water and the cornstarch and keep whisking it up. And you're trying to get it a little bit more thick, like a sauce you would get in a jar, basically. And then once it's totally whisked up, and right here I'm using a wooden spoon just because it is in the Ninja Foodi, so I didn't want to use a wire whisk, but you can also use a whisk that has the silicone end at the end as well. So once it gets thick enough, I'm going to go ahead and add in the sesame seeds. So right now I'm just stirring this up, and it takes a few minutes to get it up to a boil, and I'm just going to let it sit for a minute and add in those sesame seeds. Once you get those in, you're pretty much done at this point. So you're just going to stir them up, and then you're going to add in the seeds. And once that's done, you can add the chicken back in and let it warm up for about 1 to 2 minutes. So if you're using a Ninja Foodi, just pour the chicken right into the pot of the Ninja Foodi and then fold in all that chicken and coat it really well with the sauce. If you're using a skillet, you can pour it right into the skillet and coat it with the sauce as well. So you can do that either way. So as you can see here, it's all cooked, sizzling, and ready to eat. It looks delicious, and it's going to taste delicious too. And we like to serve this right over some cooked rice or green onions. We like to put it with green onions. I also like to serve it with cooked broccoli or green beans just to add a vegetable in there as well. So you can find this full recipe for air fryer sesame chicken on Air Fryer Fanatics, which is my air fryer website, or also on mommyhatescooking.com too. Be sure to like and subscribe so that you don't miss the next recipe. Thank you so much for tuning in today.